so hungover. It's just not even my day.
Love it.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. We're going to go into this.
Hmm.
Okay. Let's do it. 5, 6, 7, 8. Hi, Glenn.
Hi, Chloe.
Hi to Glenn and hi to everybody. Good evening to all. Welcome to the show. This is Wednesday Up Late. We are your hosts with the mosts. I'm Chloe and
I'm Glenn.
Obviously.
We've established this.
Oh, well, thank you all for joining us this wonderful Wednesday evening for some fun movie banter and opinions you didn't ask for. And, you know, our favorite part of the show, which is the games, which is what we love. Now, if you are way too busy to catch us looking like our best selves on, YouTube or Facebook or wherever you see us, you can also find us and listen to our dulcet tones in podcast form. Now, we recommend you listen to us through the Newsly app because why wouldn't you? First of all, it is a super duper app where you can find all your articles, trending, non-trending, hone it to your interests, absolutely, and it reads it back to you in this nice, calming human voice, which is awesome if you're on the go. A lot of our regular listeners will know that we do have a super special code, so you can actually upgrade your experience for free for a whole month, and it is Wednesday Up Late. So go ahead and do that and upgrade your life.
Wednesday Up Late being the code. That is the code that you use.
Thank you.
Yeah. And also, like it may be a nice, relaxing voice that reads the news back to you. Not so nice that it puts you to sleep while you're driving. Okay, just so you know.
God, no. It's just nice to listen to, like we are.
Yeah, every
voices.
Every 30 seconds it says, "Wake
up!" Yeah, so go ahead and do that, and you can listen to us as well, which is great.
Well
the whole point. Anyway, Glenn, how are you on this fine Wednesday evening?
Yeah, not bad. That's what you call the obligatories right there.
The obligatories just easing in naturally as I do,
Hey, I'll let you in on a secret.
I love secrets.
Yeah, so we're recording. It's late at night, and I sent you a text message before just saying, "Hey, I'm going to need an extra, 15 to 20 minutes." Because I didn't prep anything for this week's show. I sat down, I thought, I'm ready to go. I'm fucking ready. And I got to my computer and I'm like, I haven't made any notes at all this week.
What?
But we're good. We're good.
And you did it in 15, 20 minutes.
Best I could.
Wow. If this goes well, I'm impressed.
I must admit, for the first game we're going to play, I did have some banked in my phone, so I sort of scrolled through and sort of found some
That's
that I had.
Good idea.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Put them in the pod bank. That was bad. That was a bad one.
We all have a pod bank.
I did want to well, you already know, obviously, but I went to the movies during the week, which never happens.
Yep.
My mum called me and she's like, "We're going to the movies. This is happening. Like, we're going." And we did, and we saw The Little Mermaid the night it opened.
I've seen it, so we can talk about this.
We can talk about it. I got my little glass of Prosecco as I walked in the door. Got some lollies. It was awesome. It was so great. And I want to hear your thoughts first.
Hated it.
Really?
Passionately hated it. It is.
You don't like
atrocious.
The Little Mermaid?
It doesn't matter. That does not matter. Like that. That's irrelevant. It is. It certainly did not improve upon what the original did. It was such a clunky fucking movie. Like when it was under the water, it was dull. Like it wasn't as aquatic and lifelike as fucking colorful and shit as it should be. And when it was on land, the production value was so lame. It was so lame. I felt like I was watching some bloody made-for-television afternoon teenage show.
Look, I'm going to agree with you in the fact that I don't think this is my favorite live action Disney movie that has been done.
Hands down worse for me.
I did really enjoy Beauty and the Beast. I think that was really nicely done. This isn't at the bottom of my radar, but it didn't like top my radar. I will admit that I did cry during Part of Your World. I think she fucking nailed that song. Yep, no, don't you dare shake your head. It is a very important song to me, and I think she nailed it.
See,
She-
what
I
I
think
want to
she
what I
just
want to add, what I want
killed
to
it.
add there is like, I have nothing against her as Ariel. I think she did the best she could with a really, really fucking lousy script and some really lame, boring choices in direction. I think, she did all that she could. So what was required of her was, she nailed the brief. This squarely, lies on Disney and Rob Marshall, and yeah, just fucking loathed it with a passion. And you know what? The new songs that were in there, like,
Oh, I was
right,
going to get to that.
right.
I
So
was going to
I
get to that.
mean, what's his name? Fucking the Hamilton guy.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Lin,
Yep.
yeah. So he's a one trick pony now. Like, he's good at what he does, but um, everything's starting to sound the same.
I
What's his?
I was disappointed by
Yeah,
those
I
songs.
mean,
And when I
I
saw that
must,
they were written by him, I was kind of
yeah,
even a little bit
I
more
must admit, like,
disappointed.
I really, really enjoyed that one particular song that the Aquafina sung, the Scuttlebutt sort of song, or whatever it was called,
Yeah,
right?
that was a good song. Yeah.
But it did not fit in the Little Mermaid world. It just
Mhm.
didn't fit in there. It felt like we're watching some hip hop fucking
I feel
movie
like
from
it fit
Brooklyn.
more than Prince Eric's song for
Yeah,
sure. His
yeah,
song was weird, and
and
I
boring.
don't like the way he acted it. I
Mhm.
wasn't a huge fan of the guy who played. I didn't even take time to learn his name,
He just looked
which
like a
is
Ryan
really
Gosling
mean.
wannabe.
Not even Ryan Gosling. I think like he's fine, but I don't know. There was no life.
Okay.
There was no life in his character, and the song was just terrible. But the most important part for me was her singing that song, and I think she nailed it. So I was able to walk away happy because of that.
Sure.
I'm going to agree with you that the
Mm.
rest kind of lacked a little bit of luster, but I actually quite liked the underwater scenes. I thought they were quite pretty and the most natural I feel like they could have been done. So
Cool. Well, I mean, most importantly, you got a night out with your mum at the movies, and that's awesome.
I know.
What
And
did
she
your mum
even
think of
bought
it?
me popcorn. Oh, she loved it, but she loves
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, like that. Like,
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, she loved it. She thought it was great.
Awesome. What else? There's one more thing I was going to touch upon there. I kind of forgotten. But what do you think would be my top two Disney live action remakes? And we all know that I'm not a fan of them. I think they're kind of pointless. I think they should just be making new original movies in general. But if we're going to have these live action remakes of classic animated films, what two do you think are my favorite?
That have already been done, or
Yeah.
that.
Well, yeah,
Was
I
either-
can't. I can't love something I haven't
Well,
seen.
I mean, like I didn't know if you like that you were wanting to them
I
to
don't
be
want.
done.
I don't want any of them done.
Oh, there's going to be more. I don't know. Aladdin.
Oh no, no.
What else have they done? They've done Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Cinderella, The Lion King. I didn't even get through that,
No, it's
to be
terrible.
honest with you. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Well, you've already said one, Cinderella. I thought that was excellent.
Okay.
And that was because it's a Kenneth Branagh film. I thought he fucking really, really made a great movie. And
Okay.
the other one was Pete's Dragon,
Oh, of course. Yeah, I didn't
which
even
was
think of that one in there.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
There we go.
that's one I haven't watched with the kids yet. It's popped up a few times, but I think they're just not really hooked into that just yet. So
Also, it's a very mature film. Like, it does require
Mm.
a lot of emotional gusto.
yeah, my middle one will not tolerate well with that then.
Yeah,
He couldn't even sit through Inside Out the other day, the poor little tyke. He was just wrecked from it.
Excellent.
Cute. Should we move on to our first game?
Oh, please.
Our first game of the night. Okay, so we are going to be doing some trivia questions because
Mhm.
this is always fun. Yeah, we love trivia questions, and I had to sort of dig through my archives for these ones today too. So they might be a little bit out of left field, but we'll see how you go.
Alrighty, let's do it. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
All right. So this is a true or false trivia question for you.
Yep.
Okay. So for true or false, did this or did this not happen? 4 years in a row in Preston, Idaho, the town held a Napoleon Dynamite Festival that included a gem eating contest, a football throwing contest, and a lookalike contest.
I'm going to say true.
It's so true.
It's the kind of trivia you can't make up.
You could definitely make that up, but I'm
Oh, thank
disappointed that I wasn't there because I would have smashed everybody in a gem eating contest. I would have downed those bad boys like there was no tomorrow.
It's funny, like, yeah, that film's been on my mind this week, so it's
Has
funny that
it
yeah,
really?
it has. Cool. That's a good one.
Yes. Fun fact,
Yeah.
my aunt was driving through Preston, Idaho, and she went out of her way to go see Napoleon Dynamite's house where they filmed it. And
hmm
she said it was in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. And she was so scared that someone was going to come out with like a shotgun and tell her to fuck off. So she just like took a picture and like fanged it out of there. So, but she
Yeah,
thought it was
so
pretty
good.
cool.
So good. It's one of them. It's like if we were later on, we're going to be doing underrated, overrated, and that would be
Mhm.
like I think, even though it's highly regarded, I still don't think it's rated enough. I think it is one of the great comedies of all time. And
Completely agree.
I saw some
Completely agree.
video of Jared Hass, the director, being asked questions about it, and he was asked about that scene on the chicken ranch when the farmer's eating a sandwich. He goes, and he was asked about that and how they got that, how he directed that actor, and he says, "Well, he didn't know we were rolling, and we asked him a question, and he answered it, and that was how he talks."
That is wonderful. That
Yep,
is
and then
so wonderful.
and all they did was they shot some reaction takes from the other actors and just put it all together. That's great.
Oh my God, that's so wonderful. It just goes to show you do not need a big budget to make a funny fucking movie.
That's
That's
right. That's
goes
right.
to show.
Iconic. All right, your first one.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the most expensively dressed character slash actor of all time?
Oh, in just one movie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, most expensive. I'm trying to think of. Oh, is it the blue chick from X-Men?
No, it's not. So we're just
Um,
talking costume alone.
oh, okay, okay.
So the most expensively
Um,
dressed, not necessarily made up.
it's not
No,
Cinderella, is it? Because I
it's
know
not.
she had like a bajillion Swarovski crystals on that dress.
No.
No?
Nope.
Gone with the Wind, the big red dress from Gone with
Uh
the Wind.
no, it's not. And you'd have to
Okay.
really factor in inflation for that, and I just haven't got the energy to do that. So that was never going to be a question I would ask you.
Completely fair. Completely fair. I don't know. I give up. What is it?
It was Daniel Craig's James Bond in Spectre. His outfit, which I think was a tuxedo in one particular scene, he may have worn it in a few scenes, was actually, I'm going to get you to guess what it was worth. The value of
Oh my God.
this
Just
one
one
outfit.
tux.
Yeah, in Spectre. What was it worth? Don't overshoot the
Like,
mark. Don't overshoot the mark. It's not like it's
so
not in the
one tux,
it's not in the millions. Let's put it
not
that
in the
way.
millions. Okay. I'm going to say like 25 grand.
No, one more guess. That meant
40 grand.
up. Yeah, that was.
I got that.
Yeah. No, we had a moment of silence on the podcast version of this, and people wondering why. So it was $79,000.
Shut up.
Yep. Yep.
Why though?
Well, and I'm going to guess that probably wasn't even factored into the budget. I'm guessing there is a tailor, a man, like a popular brand that wanted it in their film, and so they offered it. That's how James
Wow.
Bond quite often works. Like, the deals they do with, like, the cars,
Yeah.
and the jewelry and the aftershaves and all that kind of stuff. Product placement, if you will.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yep.
That's super crazy for a piece of fabric. Sorry.
Yes.
Super crazy. All right. I'm going to give you your next one. Are you ready?
Yep.
Which two well-known actors were considered for Brendan Fraser's role of Link in Encino Man?
Ben Stiller.
Nope.
Well, he was, because he filmed an audition for it, and it's on
Oh,
YouTube.
okay. Well, no, I've got two in mind, but not that one.
Okay. Back
Two
then,
others then.
maybe Sean Astin.
Uh, not that I'm aware, but that's not
Okay.
who I've gotten written down.
Yep. Or trying to think of people of that generation around that time.
Think taller than Sean Astin.
Not Matthew McConaughey. No, I can't even can't even conjure actors of that generation, to be honest with you. What about Matt Damon?
Matt Damon. No. So Jim Carrey
Right.
did an
Okay.
audition, and so did Nicolas Cage.
Not surprising at all, because they were both doing teen comedies at that time. Jim Carrey had done
Yeah.
Earth Girls Are Easy, Valley Girl for Nicolas Cage, and Vampire's Kiss. Yeah, cool.
Could you see Nicolas Cage as Link? I don't know if I could. He'd be too serious. He wouldn't be as goofy, I don't
Back
think.
then, he was definitely serious. I mean, for Vampire's Kiss, I think he pulled a molar out without any anesthesia, like just ripped it out. He's very method back in those days. Things he regrets now. He ate live cockroaches and stuff for that film as well.
Nah.
But there is video of Ben Stiller. I think he even got the role. And
I've seen that YouTube clip now that you like mentioned it earlier, and it came back to my mind. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I forgot about that.
I think we've shared it with each other.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm pretty sure.
Cool. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Ready for your next one?
Yes, please.
Okay. The 2020 movie Ambience holds the world record for the longest trailer in history.
Wow.
How long was the trailer?
Longest trailer in history. I'm going to say like 7 minutes.
Keep going up.
10 minutes.
Take a wild stab at like just throw the fishing reel into as far as you can into the pond. How far?
30 minutes.
Go? Keep going. Just keep going.
No, it's not a trailer if it's more than 30 minutes.
It is.
It's an episode.
Keep
45 minutes.
No, just keep going.
Was there no trailer? It was just the fucking movie itself?
Keep going.
An hour and a half.
Well, you're close. 72 minutes.
What the? No. That's the entire movie.
The movie also holds the Guinness World Record for longest movie ever made. It's which equals 30 days long.
Why though?
Well, I mean, there's been many movies like it that have gone for 24 hours. Some have gone for maybe a bit longer, but this one holds a world record at 30 days. One, they would have made it to obtain the world record, but also it would be much more like an art installation. It would be something that I've been to a couple of these type of things where there's one called the Cremaster Cycle, goes for I think 50 hours. And you are welcome to come and go. So you can go to day one, like at this film, it would have been come to day one, watch it for as many hours as you can tolerate, leave, come back another day, watch more of it. It's sort of
But wouldn't you miss? What does it have plot points? Like what?
There's probably a very thin narrative there, but being an art installation is probably much more a series of concepts strung together that, if you have the tolerance to watch it all, eventually it will make more sense. But yeah.
I don't even have the tolerance to try and understand the concept behind it. Like that's
yeah. So there you go.
No.
72 minutes was the trailer, and they would have probably premiered that at a place like the Cannes Film Festival or Sundance, some prestigious festival that would have been as if you're going to watch an entire movie, but actually you're getting a sneak peek of what the entire thing is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You learn something new every day.
Indeed.
That's nuts. I don't like it. Okay, my next one.
Please.
Okay. So the original premise of which movie was this?
Mm-hmm.
This is the original premise.
Yep.
A plane load of news anchors crashed into another plane carrying a full cargo of monkeys and martial arts equipment. Both planes end up crash landing into the side of a mountain, and it was supposed to result in a battle between news anchors who turned to cannibalism and ninja star throwing monkeys.
That's incredible. That is incredible. So that's an original concept. Obviously, that never came to fruition, and the movie turned out to be something completely different.
Correct.
And when I say completely different, is it completely different, or is there
completely different?
So there's no echoes of that in there. Okay.
No.
How the fuck am I supposed to know that? Unless I've read that before, which I haven't. It's not Planet of the Apes. It's
there are no apes. There are no apes.
What era? What year? Or what decade?
Does the movie take place, or did the movie come out?
Yeah, did it come out?
Early 2000s.
Far out. Okay. This is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
There are animals in the movies, but they are not the full. They're in there for effect in scenes. They're not what overtakes the entire movie.
This is a curious one. I've got no fucking idea, but I'm enjoying it nevertheless. Um, oh, far out. Give me an actor.
Uh
Stumped you.
no, it's gonna it'll give it all away.
No, you know how
Christina
dense.
Applegate.
So you know how dense I am on these. Christina Applegate. What the fuck was she in back then? See, I've never really followed her career.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. Oh, so hang on. Not role models. That's too late. I don't
Steve
know.
Carell.
Just give it to
Think
me.
news anchors.
Oh, Anchorman.
Yep.
Really?
Really.
Legitimately? Fucking hell.
Legitimately, that was supposed to be the original premise of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just went nowhere. And then that's what happened.
Just like a 30-day long film that makes no sense to you, that makes no sense to me.
Right.
Wow.
But you'd still watch it. Yeah, I'd watch it.
Oh, probably. I mean, if it's less than 30 days long, yes.
Absolutely. If it was 72 minutes, I'd be pushing it, but I'd do it.
Mind you, like we say this, but we binge fucking television like there's no tomorrow, and it's not
sure.
it's not like 30 days is not an issue. Like, you know,
that's what I was doing earlier. Like I was doing it.
All right, so which Star Wars movie holds the world record for the most trailer views on YouTube in a 24-hour period?
Oh. Well, YouTube's only new.
No, it's not. YouTube is about what, 25 years old? Maybe maybe less. Maybe less.
Compared to
yes.
the Star Wars franchise.
You're right. So the answer to this, I think, if you really put your mind to it and do a bit of deduction and talk about it, you might get it.
Well, I mean, my first go-to was The Empire Strikes Back because, and this is going to sound mean, but like, you know, a lot of the types of people that were really into Star Wars were also very computer people as well. So I figured if YouTube came around and they figured out that that trailer was on YouTube.
Not bad logic. No. Not bad logic. That's not the answer. But if you keep going down that little rabbit hole, you will get there.
So then maybe when the new Star Wars were coming out and one of the newest ones.
Which one?
What's the first one from?
The Force Awakens.
Yeah, is that not the Natalie Portman ones? The first one of the installation with, I think it's Daisy.
Yes, the Rey character.
That one, yeah.
Yes, so that was The Force Awakens, and that had like Harrison Ford came back, Mark Hamill came back.
Right.
And,
yeah.
Correct. And that just makes sense, doesn't it? Because it's the original cast coming back for the first time in 30-something years. And that trailer, it was trailer number 2, to be honest, that got 30.65 million views in 24 hours.
Wow.
Yep.
That's incredible. A lot. Yep. That's a lot. It wasn't a half bad movie either. I quite enjoyed that movie.
Look, it's a very divisive franchise these days, but I think of all of the sequels that have come out since the original trilogy, I think The Force Awakens is probably the best one. It really recaptured some of the atmosphere of the first one. I think it kept the story going in a good way. Everything has detractors these days. I think if The Force Awakens had come out in the 80s or the 90s, would have been a great movie. I think just now everybody they want to hate something. So
yeah, obviously. And now you can read about it everywhere you go as well.
Exactly.
So,
and people, that's right.
People in podcast form.
Well, when people have a drum to bang, everyone can hear it now. So, you know, that's the thing. You know, back in the day, if you had a problem with something, nobody fucking knew about it that weren't in your circle.
Yep, that's true.
The way it should be. It's the way it should be.
It's true. All right, last one for me. What film was shown at Cannes under the title of Dancer?
I love how you said dancer, not dancer.
Dancer.
Dancer. Hold me closer.
Dancer.
Dancer. Okay, was it Black Swan?
No.
Am I in the right?
Earlier.
Okay. Let's go with. All right. I want to say Flashdance.
Later.
It's not Dirty Dancing, is it?
No. I'll give you a hint. I named my dog this.
Oh, I've forgotten what your dog's name was. Hmm. Hang on. Your dog's not. It's not Buddy, is it?
No, but that's really close.
Bobby. No.
Close.
Should that give it away to me? Like, should I be getting it?
Billy Elliot.
Oh, of course.
Uh-huh.
Dancer.
Yeah, so it was shown at Cannes under the title of Dancer, but yeah, it ended up winning on
Yes.
to be Billy Elliot.
It's amazing. Like that film might not have even taken off if it had been called Dancer.
I know. I fucking love that movie.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
It's one of the movies that I quote a lot. But it's when I'm sort of yelling at my kids or yelling at my husband or somebody at work, and I'll just scream at them, I hate you, you bastard. My favorite. Love it. Love
I
it
haven't
so
copped
much.
that yet.
Not yet.
Time will
Yeah,
tell.
give it time.
Alrighty. So, which famous American pop singer and occasional actress produced The Princess Diaries?
Oh, produced it.
Mm-hmm.
Mariah Carey?
No, but you're in the right vicinity.
Celine Dion?
Nope.
Dolly Parton.
No.
Um,
Colder, colder.
shit. Shit. It's not Britney Spears.
No.
No, I
Tell
don't
me,
know.
no, Whitney Houston.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't, that was never going to come to my mind. Oh, that's
I
really
remember,
nice.
like, I mean, Princess Diaries, it's not the kind of movie now that would ever get a theatrical release, but it did back in the day, and I went to the cinemas and watched it. And I remember Whitney Houston's name on the screen. I'm like, oh my god, look at that. Fucking hell. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
The
that's a
first one in
fantastic
that.
movie. Yeah.
It is a fantastic movie. It
Yeah.
really is.
Gary
It's a really good
Marshall,
one.
just like he's a rom-com god. Like that guy knows how to make an American rom-com, and not that Princess Diaries is rom-com per se, but it's in that kind of
It's in that vicinity.
subgenre. Yeah.
Coming
He's
of
good at it.
age.
Yeah, he's the
sort
guy
of.
that made not Bridesmaid. He made fucking Pretty Woman and a bunch of others that just escape my mind. But he does
Always
like,
away.
The Other Sister was a good one. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
Runaway Bride was
interesting.
another one.
So speaking of rom-coms, I didn't watch any of those this week, but I did tell you what I did watch. Like my segue there. I bit the bullet and watched Waiting for Guffman because it has been on my brain, well, forever,
Mhm.
but ever since last week, I'm like, oh, I've watched the trailer so many times. I
Yep.
need to watch this movie.
Yep.
And I tell you what, I don't think I have laughed that hard in such a long time. It is genius.
Yep.
Christopher Guest wearing his pants backwards and doing those little hip thrusts and
Haircut.
the haircut. His name is Corky, and like the politician who's in love with him and just wants to be in the play. And then, okay, I'll tell you what almost made me wet my pants. And I'm just retelling the movie here. You can cut this out later. I don't really care. Eugene Levy, he's got the glasses and he gets off the horse on the stage and they're like, yonder, what does your keen eyesight find for us? And he's got his glasses off and he's like, wow.
And the thing
and
is,
he's just talking like this with his beard. And I'm just like, I don't think I have laughed so hard.
Fantastic. So fucking glad you enjoyed it. And if you're watching or listening to this and you've never watched a Christopher Guest movie, to explain them, they're mockumentaries. If you've ever seen This Is Spinal Tap, that's a movie he wrote back in the 80s that kind of kickstarted the mockumentary thing. And since then, that was directed by Rob Reiner. But since then, he's directed a whole bunch of these mockumentaries. I think Waiting for Guffman might have been his first one as director. And he's gone on to do Best in Show, Mighty Wind, Mascots. And it is hilarity. And the best thing about these movies is, although they're loosely scripted in a narrative sense, it's entirely ad-libbed. These movies are entirely ad-libbed. So what you're hearing come out of their mouths is the first time they've delivered those lines because they've just come up with them and the other characters are reacting to hearing it for the first time. It is genius stuff. I think when we talked about this last week, I said to you that that's where Chris Lilly got the idea for Mr. G. Can you kind of see that?
Absolutely, I can.
You know, the moves,
Absolutely.
the cracking the
Oh my god.
It's funny
Oh my
because
god.
you put me in the mood to watch A Mighty Wind again because I told you that that's my favorite of all the Christopher Guest ones, and I watched that last night, and I could watch it again right now. It's
Hmm.
just phenomenal.
I think that's going to be my next one that I
Yep,
watch, and then I'll
yep,
probably watch Best in Show.
yes.
And I'm just going to leave it on this note that nobody plays better drunk than um, what's her name? Oh my god, her name's just escaped me.
Jennifer Coolidge.
No, Moira from Schitt's Creek. What's
Oh
her
yeah,
name?
Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
god,
yeah, yeah.
nobody
Well, I
plays
tell you
better
this.
drunk than she does.
I mean, Eugene Levy also co-writes most of these movies with Christopher
Hmm.
Guest, right? They're his stories. In Mighty Wind, him and Catherine O'Hara play a musical act, very nostalgic kind of musical act. And I've seen this movie probably 30 times at least. I could lip sync it. But this particular viewing had me tearing up more than I've ever teared up before watching it. These two are beautiful. As soon as I saw Parker Posey in the corner crying, I'm like, that's it. I'm fucking.
Hmm.
For some reason, last night's viewing number 30 is the one that got me. I was like, fuck, this movie's so good.
I love that when you rewatch movies and you just discover things, even on your like you said 30th viewing, and you can
Mm-hmm.
discover something new and or like a feeling
Yep.
that you haven't had before or just overcome with something.
Yep.
That's a good movie.
And I will say that I think in comedy in general, I think possibly the funniest monologue, completely ad libbed, I've ever seen in the history of comedy would probably be Fred Willard in Mighty Wind.
Okay.
It is just dynamite. You can YouTube it, people. Hey, what happened? That'll give you an idea. It's just the best.
I'm gonna do that after we finish up here. I'm
Yeah,
gonna YouTube it. Yeah,
yeah.
that's so funny. All right, should we move on to our second game?
Why not?
I think we've bellyached enough about Christopher Guest. Now, this game that we're going to play next got us some controversy. Well, got me some controversy last time.
Yes, that's
I
right.
didn't, I didn't get it completely, and I just did whatever the fuck I wanted, and it did not work. And I got my ass handed to me when I chose Twilight after all of those movies. I get it now. All right, I get it now.
I
But we're
remember.
here. We're up for redemption. We're gonna give it another crack, and I feel like I've done a pretty good job this time.
Excellent. So, I mean, I'm for some of these, I'm going to see if you can guess what my theme is. So, I'll give
Okay.
you. So, what are we playing?
Oh, it's called Filmathon.
Right. So, it's essentially a fantasy filmathon, a movie marathon. It's a lineup of 4 films that we would curate if we were in charge of one night at the cinema.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So, I'm going to have mine are all got themes. I'm going to see if you can guess the theme afterwards.
Okay. All right. You go first this time.
Okay, so my first film-a-thon is Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull,
Oh,
paired with 1941, The Terminal, and the BFG.
wow. That's a
And
lineup
I would happily sit through that lineup.
in that order.
You could rearrange them, but that's the order I would probably do them
Okay. What's your theme? What is your theme?
in.
Um, I'm trying to think. I'm getting a blank here. No, I've no clue.
Okay, well, there's kind of 2 themes to it. You've got one; they're all Steven Spielberg films,
Oh, okay. Yep. All right.
but
That's
also
obvious. I didn't even get it.
they're his 4 worst films.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm kind of sitting here thinking I don't want to watch that movie marathon whatsoever.
No, but I mean, this is I think there's a lot of people that would. I think because I think Steven Spielberg's worst films are better than a lot of people's best films. This is a guy that just knows how to make a movie, and I think you put all those back to back, it'll probably lift each of them in a certain way.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting way to go about that. Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. Should we go for my first one? I'm a little bit nervous. It's like I've got some PTSD from this game, honestly.
You should. That was nasty.
It was. It got me good. All right. So my first filmathon would be Escape from New York.
Yep.
Point Break.
Mm-hmm.
Big Trouble in Little China. And Roadhouse.
It's a fantastic, phenomenal film.
That's a good lineup, right?
That is what you call redemption.
Okay, good. Because I would watch that lineup all day, every day.
And
I
now
think it's
I'm not going to put that one on TikTok. No, I will. I will.
You just want haters. You just want them.
No, I will. That's
See
a
if we can
really
reel them back in.
strong. Read it out again. That's a strong one. So, Escape from New York.
Escape from New York,
Yep.
Point Break,
Went bro. Yes.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes.
And for those who know me from my previous podcast as well,
Mhm.
will understand the Big Trouble in Little China reference just there. And Roadhouse
Roadhouse
is the
yes.
last
So
one.
you've got two John Carpenter ones in there.
Yes, but I also it's either got Patrick Swayze.
Yep.
There's a couple of Patrick Swayze and
Kurt Russell.
yes, thank you.
You
Yep,
can
Kurt Russell.
never get his name right.
Never. No,
No.
because I confuse him with Kevin Bacon for some reason.
What?
I know. Don't even start me.
All right. Speaking of Kevin Bacon, so my next filmathon would be Psycho,
Ooh,
Carrie,
what's Harry?
Okay, Friday the 13th,
Yeah.
and Hereditary.
Oh, I don't like the last one. I don't like the last one. What's Harry?
Carrie, Carri. So
Oh, Carrie.
the Stephen King movie, Carrie.
I thought you were saying Harry. I'm like, I've never heard of this. Is
but
that Harry and the
last night-
Hendersons? I don't
Maybe
get it.
this must be a me thing because last week you thought I said E, but I said P.
Yeah, no, I think it's a me thing. Yeah, I quite Carrie I've seen and I like that movie. I like it a lot. I've seen Friday the 13th, and I've seen Psycho. I haven't seen Hereditary. I've heard horrible things, as in like
It's a great movie.
for me horrible. Like I would not enjoy it whatsoever.
Sure. What's the theme?
Horror.
Well, yeah, but there's more of a theme than just horror. It's Psychotic Mothers.
See, I wouldn't have got it because I haven't seen the last one. But is that the premise?
I wouldn't know. Well, Toni Collette's character is sort of demonically possessed in it, so she's a bit evil. Yeah.
Ooh, a little bit evil. Okay, cool. Very nice. All right, you want my second one?
Yes. Is it your second or your third?
My second.
Okay, cool.
This is throwing it back to my tween years.
Ooh.
And if I was 12, 13, 14, I would have paid for tickets months in advance to see this lineup.
Sure.
So first you've got Coyote Ugly.
Oh, yep.
Because, and then you've got Bring It On. Because, of course. Then you're going to throw in a little Crossroads in there because I always need a little bit of Britney in my life. And that was also sort of my introduction to JLo.
Yep.
And then Step Up.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. I dig. What was the second one? So
Bring It On.
Bring It On. Yeah, I dig every single one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Now, just give me a second because I'm just going to text my son who's in the next room and say, shut the fuck up. I'm recording.
Being naughty.
Well, he's a gamer. You know how gamers get when they've got the headphones on and they yell at the screen?
Yeah.
Excellent. There we go. We're done.
Excuse me.
Yeah. No, that's a great I'm done with Coyote Ugly because it's one of those movies that my wife would put on before bed every night. So I'd come to bed. I've told this story before. It'd be at the same scene every time I come in. And it was always towards the end when John Goodman's in the bar and everyone. It's like the finale.
Everyone's dancing. Yeah.
Yep. Good stuff. Good stuff. I haven't seen the new Bring It On yet. Very, very keen to. It's one that Ben, Jarrett, and I from the Good Movie Monday podcast are all very keen to see. It's the horror one, the latest one.
Oh.
So
I think I've heard you talk about this.
It's like
already,
a cheerleader
actually.
camp massacre type of movie.
Cool.
Exactly. So very keen for that one.
Nice.
Cool. All right, this is the last one I've got.
Okay.
All right. So Road Trip.
Yes.
Freddy Got Fingered.
Yes.
Bob the Butler.
Oh.
And Charlie's Angels.
I haven't seen Bob the Butler. What's that about?
Okay. It's about it's kind of like a Mrs. Doubtfire movie, I guess, but it's about a guy that fakes a resume to get a job in a mansion, being a butler. Brooke Shields plays the woman that hires him, and it's just a silly movie, the things he gets up to as a butler,
Yeah, well, that kind of fits in the theme.
It's the type of movie that Adam Sandler would produce, but he didn't. But there is a theme going here. I'm not telling you who the lead actor in that is because there's a theme going with this
Well, I'm guessing it's what's his face, Tom Green.
It is. He plays Bob the
Yeah.
Butler. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. The Chad.
The Chad. He freaks me out, that dude. Like,
Love him.
yeah, freaks
Love
me out.
him.
But
Given my age, I came like my teenage years were that right moment when he had his show, the Tom Green Show, on
yeah.
before MTV, when he was on like cable television in Canada, and it was as extreme and gross out as comedy got back then. Like you look at all of the gross out things that Jackass and the Dudesons do now. Tom Green was the pioneer. He's the grandfather of that genre.
And then, but you listen to him on podcasts or you watch him on like YouTube interviews and stuff like that, and he's super serious and he's actually quite switched on and quite smart.
He is.
But he plays the dumb weirdo so well that it's very convincing.
Why? Like this sounds completely repulsive, and it is, and that's the point. But he did a sketch called Cow Brain Boat, right? And he got a piece of styrofoam, right, big round piece of styrofoam, and he put a cow's head on it, right?
Oh no!
Right, like a severed cow's head, and then he bashed it with a baseball bat until the skull cracked open. You can see its brains, right? And he pushed it out into the lake and started singing "Cow Brain Boat." It's got a cow brain boat. Fucking hilarious.
That is horrific.
It's so funny. So
that
funny.
Absolutely horrific.
Yep.
He's so odd. He's so
and the time,
odd.
what was it like? It's even in an Eminem lyric. The time that he found like roadkill, and it was like a dead moose, and so he humped it. It's like hilarious.
I've seen that. Why have I seen that?
Well, even in his movie, Freddy
What
Got
was that
Fingered. He jacks off a horse. Like it's
Yeah,
hilarious.
I think that's what I remember. I remember.
Daddy, I'm a farmer. I tell you what, I saw Freddy Got Fingered on opening night at Burke Street Hoyts complex, which is not there anymore. And I was one of 3 people in the entire cinema, and I've never laughed so goddamn hard in my life. I just felt so connected to that man.
I remember that one time I jacked off a horse and it just all came coming back to me.
Kitty, would you like some sausage? Oh, so good. Anyway, I digress.
All right, so my third one.
Yep.
I have what I think is a pretty good lineup. So we'll start off with Knocked Up.
Good
We'd
one.
move on to Bridesmaids.
Yep.
We'd have to chuck Forgetting Sarah Marshall in there because classic. And then finish off with 40-Year-Old Virgin, just because.
It's almost an Apatow.
Big Apatow a-thon.
Was he behind Bridesmaids though? I don't think he was.
Fig was.
Fig was. Yep. Poor Fig. Interviewed him on Good Movie Monday. Everyone, go back and listen to that.
I know. How cool is that?
Okay. But it's almost a Judd Apatow-a-thon.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one though. It's a good
They're
one.
They're always guaranteed to make you laugh, but I picked out the ones that I know are like
snort-worthy
favorites. The good ones. Yeah.
Very, very good.
And then my last one.
You've done 5. You've done 5.
No, this is 4.
Well, how come I've done 4 and you're still?
Have you done 4?
Yeah. Oh no, I haven't.
I was gonna say, I swear you're missing one.
Fucking hell.
Maybe you're the hungover one, not me.
Not prepared at all, people. All right, go for it.
All right, you go.
Okay. So National Lampoon's Vacation.
Oh yeah.
Quick Change. Kingpin, and Frank McCluskey CI.
I think I've seen one of those.
Vacation.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my Randy Quaid-a-thon. Okay, so he played Cousin Eddie in Quick Change. It's a movie with Bill Murray and Gina Davis about bank robbers on the run, and Bill Murray directed that one. Randy Quaid is fantastic in that. Kingpin, it's the Farrelly brothers who did Something About Mary. It's got Woody Harrelson, Randy Quaid.
I feel like I've seen that movie.
It is dynamite funny, fucking
like
hilarious.
A long time
and
ago.
he plays an Amishman an Amish boy that gets corrupted. Very funny.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. And Bill Murray's in that too. And then Frank McCluskey CI. It's a very sort of forgotten movie. It's Dave Sheridan, the guy that played Doofy from Scary Movie. And it was kind of like it had Randy Quaid and Dolly Parton as his parents, and it was a bit of it feels very much like Hot Rod. It's a Ace Ventura meets Hot Rod kind of movie.
Ooh, you've sold it.
Yeah.
That's
not a great movie by any means, but it's worth a look.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's even got a funny title, McCluskey.
Yeah, and if you
McCluskey.
look at the poster of it, it's a rip off of Ace Ventura, and it killed Dave Sheridan's career. The studio saw how funny he was in Scary Movie and how much the audience reacted to him, and so they thought, let's give
Mm-hmm.
that guy a movie. They just gave him the wrong one. Like it was
Yeah,
clearly a
okay.
Jim Carrey impersonation. Like it just, but with the hindsight of 20 years of separation, the movie holds up okay.
I mean, and he still fits into people's lives every day because I don't know one time I've gotten out my vacuum and said, I told you not to bring it here, go to my room.
I forgot about that. Love it.
That's a good
Love
one.
it.
Now, my last one is just a throwback to just like the best.
Mm.
I think this is gonna win it, just quietly. But in my last one, I've got The Goonies, The Lost Boys, E.T.,
Yep.
and Gremlins.
It's a good lineup. It's a very good lineup. Lost Boys
Very
kind of doesn't fit in there,
nostalgia.
but
I
I
mean,
get where
I
you're
feel
going.
like it kind of does with like the E.T. and the Gremlins.
No, I just that's the only one that's not really suitable for children.
I watched it as a child.
So did I. So did I. But you know
Mm.
what I'm saying though. Like the other ones were marketed
Kind
as
of.
family
Yeah,
movies, and that one wasn't. But yeah, it's a great movie.
it is a great movie. All great movies. But anyway, I think I've redeemed myself this time. I feel like
Yeah. That was you got the
I
brief
took
this
it
time.
I took it way more seriously this time.
Well, I came up with those in like 10 minutes, so
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean that was like it was. I don't know if they're
Not to
as
brag.
fuck off. Come on. I just don't think they're necessarily the greatest marathons at all, but it's all I can come up
They're
with.
not bad marathons. They're not bad. If
Oh,
I'd
what are
heard
we?
of a lot of them.
Yeah,
I
what are
did
we?
I did want to ask you though,
Okay.
speaking of like McCluskey
Yeah.
and Tom Green, what is the worst movie you have ever seen?
Oh
Hands
my
down.
goodness. That is just such a. I'm the wrong person to ask that to because I like bad movies. Typically, bad movies
Hmm.
I like, and the
But there
ones
has
that
to be a bad movie that
yeah,
you haven't liked.
and there have been, and I don't give them the time of day like to remember them.
Okay.
I'd rather not even have
They
them
like
in.
float out of your brain.
Pretty much, I'm just trying to think of some that I've absolutely loathed. Like there's movies I hate that are actually good movies. Like The Sound of
Mm.
Music. I hate that, but it's a good movie, right?
Hmm.
So I'm more likely to recall those. But I'm trying to think of a really bad one that was just bad for bad sake. Little Mermaid.
Shut up. Shut up.
I
I
don't
can
know.
tell you mine if you like.
Yeah, please.
And while you're thinking, and I've told you this before, I can never even remember what the name of it is. And how I
Okay.
describe it to you is it's that Peter Jackson film where the aliens like blow up the sheep. Remember
Oh,
that
yeah,
one?
Bad Taste.
Bad Taste. Yeah. Worst movie. It's so bad.
Fantastic
No,
movie. That's
terrible.
it. That's an important movie. That's a very important
It
movie.
may be important, but it's fucking horrendous. I
Well,
remember sitting there watching it going,
yeah.
what
Well,
is this shit?
that's an entire genre that is just so beloved, and it's splatter, which that's a genre, and it's an amazing genre, and it's pure. Like, you see, you would hate if that's the case. If you hate that, you would hate the whole canon of trauma movies. Like that's what trauma is. We talk about trauma on the Good Movie Monday all the time.
Yes.
Yes, that's what
It's not to
trauma
say that
movies
I
are.
understand what it is.
Okay, so Troma is an independent movie studio in America that produces really, really
Oh,
low grade B movies, and they're very cheap and nasty, but they're very good. Like The Toxic Avenger, Sergeant Kabuki Man, Surf Nazis Must Die, Rapid Grannies, all these kind of things. And I mean, you would easily convince somebody after watching a couple of Troma movies that Bad Taste was a Troma movie.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Then that is not my thing.
No,
That
not
is
at all.
not my
There is
lane
a
whatsoever.
Troma are right now producing a reimagining of the Toxic Avenger, which is coming out very soon. Kevin Bacon is in it.
I feel like yeah, you've
Peter
hit on
Dinklage
this
is
before.
Peter Dinklage is playing the Toxic Avenger, which is hilarious if you've seen it. The original is a big, strong Arnold Schwarzenegger type who's mutated and wears a ballerina's skirt, a tutu.
Okay.
Fantastic movie. But anyway, we won't go down that road because you're not digging. You're not digging. You're not digging.
I'm not your vibe. I'm not your
The
audience for that
the
one.
aliens in Bad Taste rejuvenate themselves by drinking their own vomit.
Mm-hmm.
Great
Yeah,
stuff.
no, I remember.
That movie made Peter Jackson a legend.
Okay.
Well, it did. You would not know who Peter Jackson is now if he hadn't made that movie.
I'm it's still a yep, okay.
You can't. I mean, you would not have Lord of the Rings if it wasn't for that movie.
No, and that's fine. That's why that's my conundrum, right? Because I can't disagree with you because obviously it's the truth. However, had I wish he hadn't made it? No, because obviously then we wouldn't have the trilogy. But also, like, do I wish I'd never seen it? Yeah, kind of.
I tell
Yeah.
you what, you would love, and I'm not doing this to patronize you. I genuinely think you would love it. Is his next movie after that was called Brain Dead, and it is high quality horror, but it's comedy slapstick horror. Like imagine The Naked Gun in a horror world, but
Okay.
just amazing production value. This is not the cheap shit that he did with Bad Taste. This is really good
Okay.
production value. Blood everywhere, but funny as fuck.
What's it
And
called?
Bad Taste.
No, it's
Sorry.
not called
No.
Bad Taste. Stop gaslighting me. Stop it.
Brain Dead.
Brain dead. Okay. Okay. I'll give him
Amer-
another chance.
In America, it was called Dead Alive, but in Australia
Okay.
and the rest of the world, it's Brain Dead.
Okay. I'll
Cool.
take your word for it.
So good, so good.
Should we get on to our last game?
Okay.
We talked about this a little bit earlier. We touched on it, but we are going to play, and we've altered this a little bit as well. We're going to play overrated, underrated, rated.
Oh, okay, yes. When you said we've altered it, I'm like, what? Have we? Shit.
Yeah, because we kept finding movies that we're like, you know what? Like it does all right. So
Yeah,
I added
yeah.
in the rated there just in case.
Excellent.
Yes,
Excellent.
just in case.
I'm
Yeah,
excited.
I'm excited. All right. I'll go first.
Sure.
I'm going to start you off because last time we really, really agreed on Chips and
Mhm.
how much we really think it's an underrated movie. So I've gone Without a Paddle.
Oh, underrated. 100%.
Underrated. Yes,
100%.
thank you.
Oh,
I honestly think that Dax Shepard is underrated when it comes to him in movies.
I'm trying to just conjure a moment. I know the moment in my head. My mind is telling me no, but my body is telling me
yes. Oh my God. So
it's worth
good.
it for that moment alone.
One of my favorite parts when I was like originally watching it was when Dax Shepard's character was walking between the guys. They're in their underwear, they're sweaty, they're in the jungle, and he's like, I've had enough. I'm walking between a sweaty ball sack and a sweaty ball sack. Just the word ball sack used to make me laugh. I love it.
It's a no-brainer for me because I love wilderness-based movies, right?
Mhm.
Particularly comedic ones, and I think that's a great lineup. That cast is very good, and it's just it hit the mark for me. I was also
Matthew Lillard, Seth Green, Dax Shepard, just brilliant.
I was working the video stores back in those days, and the whole sort of group of us in the video stores, they were the movies we gravitated towards, those sort of those comedies, and that's one of them. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, good. We're in agreement.
Yep. What about The Blind Side?
Oh, that's a tricky one because I love Sandy, but like it was fine.
Yeah, there you go.
Fine.
I can tell your answer. You kind of think it was overrated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was overrated. It was fine, but I don't know if it deserved the hype.
Think about all of the Oscar buzz. Like, no way.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Yeah, and I think because it was just touching on a subject that wasn't kind of being touched upon as of yet, and it kind of led the way for other movies that kind of did deserve the hype. But yeah, that one's a bit overrated. The other
thing too, if you think about it, like I mean, where we've come to now with the Oscars is fucking ridiculous with all of their diversity checkboxes for best films moving forward. I don't know if you've heard about that, but the only way a movie moving forward can contend for an Oscar has to have all of these boxes of diversity checked. So it has to have an Asian player, has to have a black player, has to have too bad if you're making a movie about the Italian mafia in the 1930s. That means it's a fucking amazing film that just doesn't qualify, right?
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of issues with that. But what you were getting at there is sort of what led to it. The Blind Side was one of those first diversity movies, which is a good thing. We all want diversity in movies.
Absolutely.
It's when it started getting politicized in that kind of arena.
Yeah. And it was bound to happen. Everything gets politicized that way. Like, we're not going to get into it. But yeah, I think it was a great sort of leading in movie, but there's been a lot better movies than that one.
But the fact that it got traction and now everything since then has gotten progressively worse as to what we must have in cinema, which just completely devalues the entire fucking medium.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
Moving on.
Okay, next
All
one.
right. Zoolander.
Oh my God. Okay, that's interesting. Rated because it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
There'd be some people that would say it's overrated, for sure. But it's not. Yeah, it's not overrated or underrated. It's just rated. It's as good as it should be.
It's as good as it should be. That's a really good way to put it. I
Yep.
feel like a lot of people would call it overrated as well, but I think what it is that it found its little cult niche and then extended beyond it as well.
Just like Bad Taste did.
Anyway, so Zoolander. I'm in agreement with you with that. Hey, we're tracking really well today.
Yeah.
I'm in agreement. I think it definitely hit its mark with its audience that it meant to reach, and then it outreached from there, which was awesome. So yeah, agree.
What do you reckon Ben Stiller's best movie as a director is?
Oh, come on.
Okay, we can move on, but that's a good question.
It is a good. I'm going to think on that.
Okay. To
Get
be
back to me.
continued
Get back to me.
on next week's episode. ...
We keep them coming back for more.
All right. What about Hunt for the Wilder People?
Don't know it.
That's the Taika Waititi movie with Sam Neill and the little boy that go out into the bush.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Haven't you? That's the one that made. It's the no. Take that back. The movie that made Taika Waititi famous worldwide was What We Do in the Shadows, that vampire movie, which is brilliant. But then he followed it up with Hunt for the Wilder People when the rest of the world then clicked on and goes, hey, this guy is a genius. He's done...
Is that with the little Maori boy? Little... Yep, okay, yep.
Yep. So that movie went gangbusters. It was celebrated all over the world when it came out. I think overrated. I think that movie's hugely flawed in specific areas. And it's such a shame because remove those things that don't work and you've got a fucking amazing film on your hands. But I think very overrated.
He had some teething issues. He had some...
It's more than teething issues. My problem for people that are watching and listening that want to know what those issues were, it's mostly to do with the police procedural stuff. I think that those characters were introduced and just took it into almost Benny Hill territory, like real farcical slapstick comedy, when the rest of the movie, although very funny, had a very, very serious underlying
undertones. Yeah,
that's right.
Okay, interesting.
That's what I had a problem with. Anyway.
I'll have to put that on the list too. I'll have to watch all these bloody movies now. All right, Pretty Woman.
Oh wow, interesting. Instinctively wanted to say overrated. But I don't think it is. I think it's actually rated. I think it's, once again, as good as it should be. It's a movie that was of its time. It's a movie that's, some would say aged poorly. I don't think so, but as far as like social norms go, but I could watch it tomorrow and enjoy it as much as I did when I first saw it. So I think it's rated. Okay.
I actually disagree with you on this one. I think it is overrated.
Sure.
It's just another movie, like it doesn't grab me. But I've also never been really, I think a lot of the movie revolves around Richard Gere as well, and him being so suave and good looking and, rich and I just do not see him in that light whatsoever. I know a lot of people do, but I think if there was a different person in that role, I might have a different opinion, but he breaks it for me.
Richard Gere, his whole shtick is arrogant. Like that's what his thing is. And I actually watched a movie with him last week called Primal Fear, which anyone that's seen Primal Fear knows it's one of the great thrillers of all time with Edward Norton, and he was fantastic in that. But I kept thinking through that movie, man, this guy doesn't really play anything but smarmy and arrogant. And cocky. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. So anyway, for me, it's overrated.
Cool. Gotcha. I can buy that. What about The Mummy?
Oh, rated.
Rated? Okay.
Rated. It deserves the hype that it gets. The other ones, I'm not even going to think about, but
Sure.
that standalone, I feel like is just such a great movie. Definitely deserved the hype it got.
Sure. Cool. Excellent.
I know you don't agree.
Fucking hate that movie.
No.
Yeah, it's such a
No, Cleo.
steaming turd of a movie and completely overrated. And I thought that the first time I saw it at opening night at the cinemas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the only part that I truly get uncomfortable in that movie is when they're racing the camels because they're all like super serious and they're all like this racing the camels, but the camels just like the camels are just like they're going at like 2 kilometers per hour and you're like so you're racing a camel, mate.
That's the most TikTok friendly moment you've ever given us.
You're welcome. I'm not doing it again. I'm not
you don't
doing
need
it again.
to. I can loop that as many times as I want.
I can't wait for that one to pop up in my little you've been mentioned in a video. And then there's just me. Oh goodness me. All right, my last one. Frozen.
Overrated.
Really?
100% overrated.
Do you think that it got the hype because of that one song and it got
Yes.
flogged to death?
No, I think look, I'm glad the movie performed well. I think it's a perfectly fine Disney classic animation, you know, like in line with all the other ones they've done. I think this one was much more than any other the product of social media. I think this is the movie that song just landed on Vine or TikTok or whatever, like, or YouTube, and just snippets went around the world and captured people's attention more than other Disney movies before it.
Yeah.
You can take any other Disney song, like, you know, Whole New World, whatever, and if that had been released in the same era, it probably would have done the same thing and just And then the merchandising machine kicked in, and every fucking little girl and boy in the world wanted to be like Elsa, and like it just became really obnoxious and annoying. And I just think that in and of itself, the buzz around it was way overblown and just brought the movie down to the point that who the fuck wants to watch Frozen again?
Have you seen the second one?
Yeah, I have many times.
Do you prefer it over the first one?
No, it's equal. It's equal.
Equal? Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I like the songs better in the second one than I do the first one, but I like the story in the first one better. But can you believe that it's 10 years old already? Like that came out in 2013.
And what makes this is when you realize you're really getting old, is that your children, your nieces, your nephews that were obsessed with that, and now at the age with like fucking Frozen, like I don't think so. You know, like in your mind though, you're still thinking maybe I'll get her an Elsa or something for Christmas. You know, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's so funny.
That's so funny. The older you get, the quicker the years go, and that's the perfect example.
Well, lucky I'm 23 still. And I've been 23 like the past 10 years. So
well, you were the right age for Frozen then, weren't you?
Absolutely. It would just hit. I was his target demographic. Had a hard 23 years, that's for sure.
What about Nacho Libre?
This is just, you're going to have to put this on a loop because I've not seen that either.
Right. I've got backups because I knew that would happen.
Okay.
So Nacho Libre is the little GIF I sent you before we recorded with Jack Black.
Yes.
Okay. So from the director of Napoleon Dynamite, it was his follow-up movie. I think it is a fucking masterpiece. I think it's almost better than Napoleon Dynamite, which says a lot.
Wow.
But therefore, I would say underrated. But some backups here. What about Four Weddings and a Funeral?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Is it overrated or underrated? It was like the biggest fucking thing in the world when that came out.
Overrated. Yeah.
Correct answer. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. And there's the game.
It's what a way to go out. What a way. We'll just cut that whole other stuff.
Can you do a Hugh Grant impersonation?
Yes,
perfect.
Is that good?
Yes. I suppose.
Oh,
Oops, a daisy.
it's that was kind of like Kristen Stewart mixed with Hugh Grant, kind of. Oh my
Mixed with
goodness.
Stephen Hawking. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Stephen Hawking, I would just like the TikTokers and the YouTubers and Facebookers to everyone to witness my microphone. I have listened to the people and I have flipped it around. I'm hoping my sound is a lot better for you. I finally caved and, you know, you're right. And I concede on that too. So,
I mean, I guess the way that you approach something so phallic says a lot about you.
yes, it does. And I can switch it and flip it and all types of angles.
Sounds better this way.
I'm a multitasking girl. But also, you know, not just that, I would like to thank everybody for joining us for another week as well. It's always fun to do games with you, Glenn. You know that. We have a lot of laughs and fun, especially when I'm not hungover.
I would also like to thank them too.
Oh, that's nice.
Not we or
I
anything.
appreciate it. Yeah. Did I say I?
Yeah.
We. So yeah, don't forget to, you know, head over to the socials, the Facebook, the YouTube, TikTok, give us a follow, like, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for games for us to play, we would love to have them. So please, if you want to see us play some sort of game and like absolutely fucking fail at it, send it our way and we will give it a go.
Very disappointed we didn't get a cameo from Donkey Boy.
Donkey Boy.
You haven't been watching social media, have you?
No. What?
So we suggested some games to play on Facebook. And your husband suggested Pin the Tail on the Donkey. And I said, I take it you're making a cameo this week, mate?
Yeah, well, the first week he threatened to walk through the background naked. So, and I threatened him with death
looking for
if
that
he
cameo.
did.
Then we'll really know if he's Donkey Boy.
He's just going to windmill it. So yeah, please feel free to send us
Get to
any
the
sort
chopper!
of games, suggestions our way. Yeah, so yeah, thanks. And I'll see you again next week.
See ya.
We'll go bye.